The Patek Philippe Nautilus and Aquanaut come from the same Swiss manufacturer, but they represent completely different philosophies of luxury sports timepieces. These watches share DNA, yet they have grown into distinctly different creatures in the world of haute horlogerie. Back in 1976, Gérald Genta sketched the Nautilus on a restaurant napkin at Baselworld while solving a crisis. The quartz revolution was destroying Swiss mechanical watchmaking, and Patek Philippe desperately needed something revolutionary. 4 years earlier, Genta had changed watchmaking with his Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, the world's first luxury steel sports watch. The Nautilus was his answer to his own creation. His solution shocked the industry, and he set out to create the world's most expensive steel watch. He named it after Captain Nemo's submarine from Jules Verne's novel, and he launched it with the provocative tagline, "One of the world's costliest watches is made of steel." That original reference, 3700, nicknamed the Jumbo for its then massive 42mm case, ran on a Jaeger-LeCoultre movement and featured an integrated steel bracelet that felt more like jewelry than a tool watch. It contradicted everything a Patek Philippe was supposed to be: sporty, casual, and crafted from steel rather than precious metal. Where the Royal Oak cost 10 times more than a Rolex Submariner, the Nautilus pushed luxury steel pricing even higher. 21 years later, Patek Philippe confronted a different problem. The Nautilus had grown conservative, almost predictable. The brand needed to capture younger collectors who saw traditional luxury as stuffy and outdated. Their answer arrived in 1997 with the Aquanaut, reference 5060A. This watch borrowed the Nautilus's porthole case concept, but wrapped it in something completely new. It featured a rubber strap that took over a year to develop. The Aquanaut marked several firsts for Patek Philippe. It became their first watch with a rubber strap, their first sports watch designed entirely in-house rather than by an external designer, and their first serious attempt at creating what the industry would later call a lifestyle watch. The embossed dial pattern, reminiscent of latitude and longitude lines on a globe, earned it the nickname "chocolate bar" among collectors. Understanding these watches means grasping their creator's philosophy. Thierry Stern, Patek Philippe's current president, has spoken bluntly about the brand's steel production limitations. He has said that making only steel watches is dangerous because the price average would be too low, and that this could put his whole business in danger. This philosophy directly shapes both collections today. Numbers reveal a fascinating story. Patek Philippe produces approximately 72,000 watches annually, with an estimated 3,000 Nautilus pieces, representing just 3.9% of total production. The Aquanaut's production numbers remain more secretive, but initial runs were deliberately limited. The original 1997 model was made in just 1,000 pieces. Pricing shows the strategic positioning. The standard Aquanaut reference 5167A starts at $24,450, while the current Nautilus reference 5811 in white gold retails for $69,785. But retail prices mean nothing in today's market reality. That entry-level Aquanaut commands around $54,000 on the secondary market, more than double its retail price. A steel Nautilus, if you can find one, starts at $70,000 from gray market dealers. Waiting lists have reached legendary status. Current estimates suggest 5 to 8 years for a Nautilus and 3 to 5 years for an Aquanaut. But these numbers can mislead completely. As one dealer explained, if you are on a wait list, you are essentially on no list. Authorized dealers are still getting Aquanauts, but they are not allocating them to people on the lists. They are going to preferred customers. Celebrity endorsement has amplified demand exponentially. Brad Pitt, Jay-Z, and Jason Statham have been spotted wearing Nautilus pieces. Drake has been photographed with an Aquanaut chronograph on an orange rubber strap. When Virgil Abloh, Kanye West's longtime collaborator, wore a custom blacked-out Nautilus, it sent ripples through both fashion and watch communities. The 2021 Tiffany Blue Nautilus auction result crystallized how far these watches had traveled from mere timekeeping instruments. The first of 170 limited edition pieces, retailing for $52,635, sold for $6.5 million. That was more than 120 times its retail price. Paul Boutros from Phillips Auction House called it, without doubt, amongst the most exciting, exclusive, and coveted examples of a Nautilus ever offered. Critics saw pure speculation rather than intrinsic value. The Nautilus maintained its integrated bracelet philosophy, with brushed and polished links that feel architectural. The current model, 5811, measures 41 millimeters, growing slightly from its predecessor's 40 millimeter case. The new fold-over clasp includes a lockable adjustment system, allowing 2 to 4 millimeters of size adjustment. The Aquanaut embraced its rubber strap identity completely. That original tropical composite material resists ultraviolet rays, salt water, and abrasion, becoming the collection's defining characteristic. Modern versions include travel time complications, chronographs, and even an annual calendar introduced in 2023. Both collections now use variations of Patek Philippe's caliber 324 family. The 324 SC provides 40 hours of power reserve, while the upgraded 26330 SC extends this to 45 hours. These movements showcase some of the finest finishing in the industry, with Geneva Seal certification, Gyromax balance wheels, and hand assembly that takes weeks per watch. Design philosophy separates them most clearly. The Nautilus dial features horizontal grooves that create maritime depth, with applied baton indices filled with luminous material. Simple baton hands maintain the clean, nautical aesthetic. The Aquanaut's embossed pattern creates a completely different visual texture, paired with printed Arabic numerals and obelisk-shaped hands that feel more contemporary. Market dynamics have shifted dramatically since the pandemic era. The wild speculation of 2021 to 2022 has cooled, but prices remain elevated. Vintage Nautilus reference 3,700 touched $250,000 at the market peak, but now trade around half that price. Still, this represents massive appreciation from their original retail prices. The discontinuation strategy reveals Patek Philippe's long-term thinking. The legendary 5711 Nautilus was discontinued in 2021 and replaced by the white gold 5811. Similarly, the Aquanaut 5167 1A was discontinued in 2025. These moves artificially constrain supply, and they push average selling prices upward through precious metal cases. Thierry Stern described the Tiffany collaboration as his little gift to say, "Congratulations on buying Tiffany." He said he had to choose something unique and exceptional, and that this would be the last round for that watch. The 170-year partnership between Patek Philippe and Tiffany provided cover for creating ultimate scarcity. Recent developments point toward increased luxury positioning. The new Aquanaut Loose Haute Joaillerie reference 5268-461G renders the sports watch concept in diamonds, sapphires, and solid 18-karat white gold. The Aquanaut travel time now comes in white gold, starting at significantly higher price points than steel versions. Production constraints remain artificial rather than technical. Patek Philippe could produce more of both watches but chooses not to. This scarcity maintains exclusivity and supports secondary market values that benefit both the brand and existing owners. While Vacheron Constantin responded to the luxury sports watch trend with their own 222 and later the Overseas, Patek Philippe has deliberately kept their steel sports offerings limited. The Financial Times declared that the Nautilus has become the Birkin bag of watches, referencing Hermes and its most coveted Birkin handbag and the legendary waiting lists. This comparison captures something essential about modern luxury consumption: the desire for objects that signal insider status through their very unavailability. Looking ahead, both collections face interesting challenges. The Aquanaut, once dismissed as the poor man's Nautilus, has developed its own devoted following. Younger collectors appreciate its modern aesthetics and slightly better availability. The Nautilus remains the ultimate grail, but its exclusivity may eventually work against broader appeal. These watches represent more than timekeeping instruments. They are symbols of achievement, markers of taste, and vehicles for investment. Whether you prefer the Nautilus's maritime elegance or the Aquanaut's contemporary cool ultimately depends on how you want the world to see you. Both will get you there, but they will tell very different stories along the way. In the end, choosing between a Nautilus and an Aquanaut is not really about telling time. It is about telling everyone else exactly who you have become.